tuned. This is Smart 24, where we drive your business. My name is Anthony Sebale, and we are still talking financial markets. Financial markets include the capital markets and the money markets, and what's happening in the current, state of affairs that is in the region, East Africa, as well as, the continent Africa, as we look into growing our own financial markets here. Now, news coming in from Bank of Uganda. The Deputy Governor of Bank of Uganda, Mr. Atingi Ego, has received Central Bank Governor of the Year award. Now, Bank of Uganda Deputy Governor Mr. Michael Atingi Ego has been awarded the Central Bank Governor of the Year award. The award, presented in Accra, Ghana, is part of the prestigious annual African Banker magazine that recognizes African bank governors for driving economic stability in their respective countries by taming inflation, as well as ensuring stable exchange rates regimes. Now, the award comes at a time when Bank of Uganda is seeking to tame growing inflationary pressures that have seen the inflation rise above 15% target. Yesterday, the Uganda Bureau of Statistics noted and indicated that inflation has risen to 6.3% in May, up from the 4.9% in April due to rising food prices, fuel, and other commodity prices. Mr. Atingi Ego, who is also an economist, has been pivotal in ensuring economic stability amid a number of challenges, among which include COVID-19 and the runaway commodity prices right here in Uganda. He holds a Doctor of Philosophy, that is a PhD in economics from the University of Liverpool, a Master of Arts in Economics from Cardiff's Business School in the UK, and a bachelor's degree in economics from Makerere University. Mr. Atingi Ego has also been running the central bank since the former boss of the central bank, that is the late governor of Bank of Uganda, Mr. Emmanuel Tumusime Mutebide, died in late January. The African Banker magazine was launched in May 2007 with focus on banking and finance in Africa, with concentrated coverage of news from banking, finance, insurance, and currency, direct and indirect financial investment, as well as stock and capital markets. Now, the event was held under the patronage of the African Development Bank, being part of the program of the bank's annual meetings, which ended on May 27th. The African Banker Awards celebrate excellence in African banking, recognizing both individuals and institutions that drive transformation. Other awards included on the event the African Banker Icon and a Finance Minister of the Year, which went to Ms. Vera Songwe, the UN Under Secretary General and, of course, and Executive Secretary of Economic Commission for Africa, that is Ms. Vera Esperança dos Santos Daves de Sousa, and that is Angola's Finance Minister, respectively. A total of 22 awards were presented at a ceremony that attracted more than 300 banking and financial service professionals. That is a story right there. Coming in from Accra, Ghana, our very own Deputy Governor, Mr. Atingi Ego, has been awarded the Central Bank Governor of the Year award, and that was something we should, as Ugandans, be proud of, as he has been in the shoes probably of the governor since he passed on, that is in the late January. Currently, we don't have an instituted governor, but he has been the deputy governor for a while now for the Central Bank of Uganda. And he has done well according to the reports we have seen, as well as in controlling inflation and other things around the economics of the country. Now, moving on to one other story that is related. Kenya, as we all remember, at the beginning of this week on Monday, actually increased its central bank rates. Now, the central bank rate of Kenya on Monday was raised its policy lending rate by 0.5 percentage point to stem rising inflation and stabilize its shilling. The increase in the central bank rate, that is the CBR, to a rate of 7.5 matched the expectations of most analysts. Had said they expect the policy rate to rise further in the coming months as the country fights off inflationary pressure brought home by rising oil prices and, of course, the economic fallout of the Russian-Ukrainian war onslaught, which has hit the food supplies and disrupted chains of supply. Then the inflation, which is a measure of the annual change in the cost of living, hit 6.47 in April from 5.56% in the prior month, and the Kenyan National Bureau of Statistics reported last month. This was the highest pace since last September, when it stood at 6.91%. Now, the Central Bank of Kenya, Kenya's Inflation Targeting Monetary Policy Committee, that is the MPC, said that while the economic shows strong resilience, shocks from food shortages, a weak shilling food shortage, a weak shilling against the dollar, and imported inflation in the form of surging food prices could lead a spike in consumer good prices. The committee noted that the elevated risks to the inflation outlook due to the increased global commodity prices and the supply chain disruptions, and of course concluded that there was a scope of tightening of the monetary policy in order to further anchor inflation expectations, according to the MPC chairman, Mr. Patrick Njoroge, who is also the Central Bank of Kenya's governor. Now, in the view of these developments, the MPC decided to raise their central bank rate to a total of 7.5 from 7% in the hope that this will curb inflation. The shilling traded at 116.71 on Monday, hitting a record new low against the dollar, setting the stage for costly imported goods such as cars, electronics, farm inputs, and second-hand clothes, as well as electricity, amid a shortage of the U.S. currency. The weakening of the Kenyan shilling has triggered fears of fresh round of inflationary pressure, which has become a political headache for the government that has recently was forced to offer fuel subsidies to diffuse social tension. The tightening of liquidity is, however, expected to have a negative effect on access to credit or for individuals and, of course, companies. Now, that's the story right there related that, of course, many countries are fighting inflation, and in a way, these central banks have sat in meetings and decided to raise their, interest rate. It has not happened in Uganda yet. Our central bank rate is still standing at exactly 6.5%, and the policy committee meeting will sit on the 16th of June to decide the fate of our central bank rate. Remember, the central bank rate has direct effect on the interest rate at which commercial banks lend money. And currently commercial banks lend between 10, 12, 15%, 17%. But if it increases from 6 probably to 7, then the commercial banks will also have to adjust their interest rate in order to fit in there. And that will probably affect the way we are borrowing money, and that could affect business and so many other things. But all that is in a bid to curb inflation, because as a nation we are seeing steady rise in inflation, just like you watch in the news everywhere, prices are increasing, and people are worried that this could, lead to a depression, in the economy. But we will try to watch that and prevent that. And I think, according to what we are seeing as reports coming, with our Bank of Uganda Deputy Governor, Mr. Atingi Ego, receiving all these awards, we hope that we shall be able to curb these inflationary pressures. Now, Uganda's 40 financial technologies are going actually to open to other East African countries, that is Kenya, Tanzania, and of course Rwanda. So the participants in one of the 40 fintechs initiative have actually been increased, and the wings have been spread to other East African countries. The third season of the Uganda's 40 days and 40 financial technologies initiative will for the first time cover physical destinations, that is in Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Burundi, and Rwanda. Now, High People Uganda has announced that the third season of the country's 40 days, 40 financial technologies, that is fintechs initiative, with a call to digital innovators and financial technology companies, that is fintechs, across East Africa to take part. The 40-day initiative, first launched in 2020, is a premier showcase event for innovations with the potential to enable more people join the digital economy space, and profiles are emerging fintechs with unique stories. The third season of the event will for the first time cover physical destinations of Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, and of course Burundi and Rwanda. The platform provides a setting for the various players involved in digital and financial technology to exhibit their products and services, and also share their ideas on how to include more people, especially those unserved and undeserved by the present financial systems, with emphasis on interoperability. Now, the initiative also offers participants useful tools and an introduction to industry's emerging technologies, such as the Moja Loop open source software and the guidance from Level 1 Project Foundation material. The skills gained from the initiative cover Level 1 project principles, that is instant and inclusive payment systems, inclusive finance, and fintech in general, of course. And of course, according to Innocent Kawoya, who is the High People Uganda Chief Executive Officer, the intention of the initiative is to champion digital innovation and interoperable and instant inclusive payment systems in Africa to a point where innovators can enjoy and achieve sound profit margins, that is in East African region and of course across Africa. This then helps them keep designing and deploying affordable and inclusive financial services for the sector, and that is especially for the poor. Now, it was thus pleasant for the High People Awards to learn that up to 25 of last season's participants not only continued to enjoy increased client engagement and better bottom lines as a direct result of participating in the 40 days, 40 fintechs initiative, but are also helping to generate economy-wide efficiencies by digitally connecting millions of peoples of low-income consumer bases that are learning to transact at a faster rate. That is according to Mr. Kawoya, who is the chairperson of the High People. Now, the initiative is run under High People's Include Everyone project, which also encompasses other initiatives such as fintech landscape exhibition, women in fintech, hackathon, summit and incubator, and digital and financial inclusion summit, and digital impact awards Africa. Former participants have gone ahead to innovate for sectors beyond which just the traditional financial services, and of course are making forays into healthcare, education, lending, remittances, agriculture, robo-advisor, and payments, RegTech, InsurTech, that is insurance tech, crowdfunding, neo-banking, cryptography and cryptocurrency, as well as interledger, blockchain, and cross-border payments, and retirement schemes, and new ways of operating bonds and real estate, among others. That is a story coming in from the high people who have organized a 40-day, 40 fintechs event that is going to help scale, of course, upcoming financial technologies and innovators in the financial technology space. If you remember, we have so many problems, especially when it comes to financial transactions in Uganda, where we still rely mostly on the traditional means of transferring money from accounts and so on. But financial technologies give us an opportunity to actually easily transact across the globe, and especially within the region as well, without involvement of many hurdles like in the past. Where we had to always move with the money to different places. Right now, this 40-day 40 fintechs program organized by the high people is going to help financial technologies, upcoming innovators in the sector of financial markets and financial institutions to come up with innovative ways of transactions that can help us blow those hurdles that have been a bottleneck in the past for financial transactions in Uganda. Probably they'll help also on the capital market side, so that people can actually easily access, for example, treasury bonds and bills, and be able to pay their different dues and be able to access their money whenever they can, so long as they are connected through these platforms. So it is an event to watch out for, and if you are a financial technology company that is out there and you're handling financial technology and coming up with ways people can transact easily, you can actually get involved in these series of events that are going to take place for over 40 days across East Africa. That is in Uganda, in Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda, as well as Rwanda and Burundi. So this is an opportunity for us as Ugandans to take up this space and join the new world of financial technologies that are driving the world by storm. So yes, that is a story we'll be keeping up with. If we can get in touch with the high people, we'll be bringing you whatever they will be giving to those small innovators who are coming up with new financial ideas in terms of financial transactions. We're going to go into a short break. We return with more, but I remind you, we will be having Mr. Rogers from Capital Markets Authority later on the program to tell us a little bit more about investor education and getting to know how you can get started. Don't go anywhere. My name is Anthony. We'll be right back.